Okay, so for this video we're going to talk about raising the walls in our second floor, and most importantly it's real important that we make sure we have everything on the right layer. So anything that's my roof, I'm putting on the roof layer, and anything that's my second floor, I'm putting on the second floor layer. Very important there. So one thing to note, we're going to get rid of these side walls. Reason being, when I raise up the walls, this is going to be in the way, so I got to make sure that I'm creating basically a seamless transition when I'm going to be raising the walls. Okay, so first things first, if we look on, and I'm going to get rid of all my guides that I've had in here for previous stuff. Okay, so here's my second floor sitting over here, and when we look at this, if I look at drawing A-01, it's showing that my second floor side walls are 6 feet. So I'm looking on this drawing, and where it says 2 upper level subfloors, so I have an elevation of 9 feet 4 3/4. And then I've got a dimension moving upwards of 6 feet. That tells me that the side walls for my second floor are actually 6 feet. So at the very exterior, we've got 6 feet side walls. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add if the computer program lets me, I'm going to be adding some construction lines that I'm going to use as a guide to stack my roof on top. So the blue, I'm looking for the blue arrow. See how it's turning colors here? That tells me it's going along with the axes. So the blue axis is what I'm looking for. That's my vertical axis. So I'm going to be setting my roof actually right at that location. So I'm going to grab it. I'm going to use my move command. I'm going to go to where those points intersect, and that's where I'm going to be dropping. Real important that I get it exactly where they intersect, because that's how I'm going to be using as a guide here to raise up my walls. Okay, so looking at this now, what I'm going to do, this is where it maybe gets a little bit tricky. So I'm going to be grabbing my second floor walls, and I'm going to be raising them all the way up, and I want to go through the roof structure. Real important that I go through the roof structure, because this part's a little bit of a pain in the butt, but it's the best way that we found to actually go forward and make sure that we raise all the roofs, because we have or raise all the walls, because we actually have vaulted ceilings here in our second floor. So what we're going to be doing now is anywhere we see an intersection between the roof and the second floor walls, we are going to be drawing lines. This is the tedious part that's very annoying. There's no way around it. But this is the best way that we found to make sure that we actually can have a seamless transition between the second floor and the roof structure. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the time, I'm going to literally outline any place we have an intersection. So this is like I'm drawing all over again, like I'm in kindergarten. Okay, and I want you to do exactly what I'm doing. So anywhere there's an intersection, I want you to take your pencil tool and draw a line. So I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to do this on my end, and hopefully you can do it on your end, and then I'll show you the next step here. Okay, I've got everything traced out on my end, so you'll be able to tell. You can see how there's basically a line that's now there. And so what I'm going to do, and if everything worked properly, I should be able to actually go ahead and delete these walls above. So if everything worked correctly, which it looks like so far it is, you will see basically the line outline of the wall. So just to check, let's see if it's working out properly. So the cool thing is, if I turn off my roof, you can see down in there, and I can see I'm not deleting any of my walls, which is nice to see. Okay, so you can use that as a check. All I did there is I went into my layers and I'm turning it off and on, hence why we want everything on layers. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete these walls. You can do the same on your end, and make sure, one thing to point out, I do not delete basically any lines that are showing up on the roof itself. We're going to add thickness to our roof at a later time. But for now, if you were to delete those, you would be deleting the wall below. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to delete all of these walls above my roof, and you guys can do the same, and we'll check back here and compare how we did. Okay, so I got everything done on my end. I've got all my walls removed above the roof, and as you can see, I've got an outline now of literally where my walls are below, and I've been checking this as I've gone just to make sure I didn't delete anything below. But the cool thing is, now when I take away my roof, you can see that I've got vaulted ceilings. So I saved myself literally a huge headache. You would have literally wanted to blow your brains out if you didn't use this way to try to raise the walls. So anyway, now I've got everything set up for my second floor. So now next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go through and I'm going to be punching out the windows for this. So that'll be the next step. So I'm going to be doing that next.